This is Ian Lamont. I'm an experienced independent publisher, and today I'm going to walk you through the steps of getting a new book on Barnes & Noble Press, formerly known as Nook Press. If this video helps, please take a moment to like it. Follow me. Let's get started. So we are currently in Barnes & Noble Press. All right, I'm assuming that whoever's watching this video, they already have an account. And once you have an account, when you're creating a new book, you'll come to a screen like this. It says, let's get started on your book. So I'm going to press the ebook very shortly, but one thing I want to do before we get started on that is just show you the assets that I have ready to use. So the first thing that I have ready to use is a cover image. There's the cover of the book. I also have an ePub file. So it is right here. I created the ePub file in a program called Atticus, but there's other programs that people use to create ePub files. And this is the same ePub file I'm using for all of the other marketplaces where I'm selling the ebook. And then finally, I have a metadata file. And basically, this is a file that contains all of the relevant information about the book. It's a text editor file. I have the title, subtitle, name, publisher, imprint. Actually, it's not a second edition. It's the first edition. And publication date, ISBN for the paperback and for the ebook, because sometimes they ask, even if you're creating an ebook, sometimes they want the corresponding print version of it. And then descriptions, keywords, categories, and stuff like that. So I have all that stuff and I'm ready to go. I'm going to click ebook and then click next. So give your book a title. Now I can't remember if they just mean the first part of the title or the subtitle. And if they want a subtitle in this field, I'll come back and correct that. Do you want this book to be set up as a pre-order? And yes, it's a pre-order. Not a long pre-order, but it's a pre-order. Okay, now I'm going to be uploading the interior file. So they actually take a Microsoft Word file here, but I'm actually working with a professionally laid out ePub file. I shouldn't say professionally. It's using a software program called Atticus, but I made sure that it looked as good as it possibly can. So I'm going to drag it right in there, and it is right here. Does your interior file include your cover? And yes, it does. They may ask me to upload a separate cover file, and I'm ready to do that. So they're going to go to uploading, converting the file, and then validating. Validating means that they're going to check the ePub file to make sure that it meets all of the technical requirements and other requirements that Barnes & Noble has for selling ebooks on their platform. And then it will be complete. This may take a minute or two. Oh, they're going to have me review it. Okay. So it's blank here because the first page of the ebook of the ePub is actually a blank page. There's the title, copyright screen. This is actually not a good representation of my book, but to be honest with you, the way that I do check the ePub files is not using these online software systems that the platforms all offer, but I actually put it on a Kindle, and then I also I open it up in Apple Books on my computer, and sometimes I open it up on an iPad as well, just to make sure it reads okay. So this is not really an accurate representation of the book, which I know looks okay. So I'm just going to hit save and continue. Okay, so now it's talking about a sample file. And basically what these platforms do is they often let prospective readers read a little bit of it. For instance, Google Books, it used to be 20%. I don't even know what Kindle does right now. And I'm just going to choose the default sample. I'm fine with that. So basically I'm assuming it's going to be the first 5 or 10% of the book. Save and continue. Upload your cover file. Okay. We recommend a height and width of at least 1400 pixels. So this happens to be actually the Apple standards for the book, and I've already prepared something. So I'm just going to upload this PNG file. Drag it right in there. And I don't know why it doesn't just use the cover file that's embedded in the ePub. But anyways, I'm just doing what they asked. I have all of these assets, so it's no problem. Okay, check mark. That looks good. Review the cover file. Yep, that's it. I reviewed it. Save and continue. Okay, enter details about your book. So now they're going to ask me more details about the book, and I have that ready on my handy metadata file. So there is a subtitle, publisher name, that's fine, publication date. I'm going to change that. It's actually not for another week. Edition number, not going to put that in because it's the first edition. Is this book part of a series? Not quite. And then default book description. So basically, Barnes & Noble Press is looking for two versions of the description. One is like a short one, and then the other one is a long one. So it says if you use the long one, they'll basically make it available whenever it's possible to do so. So I'm going to just paste in the long one right here. And then the short one is actually the second paragraph of the long one, minus this. So I think most people will see the short one, and this is what I want them to see. You can do some simple formatting of the descriptions. Whoops, that didn't turn out the way I wanted it to. So basically highlight something you want to format, and then I'm going to put italics around it. If you don't, these little codes that just appeared here, that's HTML, hypertext markup language. If you need help with hypertext, you can press the button that says HTML guide. Okay. And then here is the long version. I'm going to do some similar formatting. Actually, the most important thing is the bullets. So let's see if they do it properly. So I'm going to highlight all of these bullets, and then I'm going to use the bullet button, and it didn't do it. Okay. So let's see if I can do it this way. Yeah, it didn't do a good job at all. So what happens when I do this? Yeah. You know what? I'm actually going to take out the longer version of it, just because I don't want to deal with the bullets right now. It looks like a pain. So I'm going to hit save and continue. Authors and contributors, okay. So contributor's name. So these are all the authors that I've published via my company, includes me. I'm going to put down author, and then about the authors. So I actually have a bio prepared. I'm just going to paste that right in. All of this is true. Hit save and continue. Okay, make it easy for customers to find your book. So this is the categorization part of it. So this is general adult, language is English, and then I'm going to choose categories. So unlike Kindle and Kobo and Apple, which let you choose 3 categories, Barnes & Noble Press lets you choose 5. So it's nonfiction. Thankfully, you can search categories, unlike some other platforms out there. Kindle Direct Publishing. All right, good. So categories. This is really good. There's actually they have lots of categories related to genealogy. Actually, a surprisingly large amount of categories. Maybe there's like too much choice here. It's getting very specific about the number of genealogy subcategories. And I just think that's a little bit over the top, actually. All right, so I'm going to just select this one. I'm going to select International Genealogy, and then I think there's a couple other ones that I can take. Okay. So that's 3 categories right there. And maybe what I can do also is look up local history, because the book does talk about that. All right, so this is getting too long as well. So maybe what I'm going to do is just this general category, and I'm going to call it a day with that. All right, so that's 4 categories, and then choose keywords for search engines. Please separate your keywords below with a comma. So I do have some keywords all set to go. I think it's these right here. All right. Okay, save and continue. So the retail price, this is a low-priced ebook, $2.99. You'll see my royalty is about 70%. Save and continue. I was going to go to rights and other information. So they're going to ask me if I want to use DRM. DRM stands for Digital Rights Management. I do not recommend that. DRM, even though it sounds good in theory, basically it prevents your book from being pirated. It's not completely foolproof, not only for the pirates can get around it, but also a lot of people, if they have a DRM book, they have trouble opening it, especially if they like transfer the book between devices. So I do not recommend using DRM. Is the content in this book created using artificial intelligence? So this is, honor system. I did not use AI in any part of writing or composing or editing the book, but we know that there's a big flood of junky AI books in the marketplace right now. This is apparently how Barnes & Noble and Amazon are trying to detect them, just by asking people whether or not that they used AI. Is the content of this book in public domain? No, it is not. Does your ebook have an ebook specific ISBN? And yes, it does. Please enter the ISBN here. And that is up here. I'm going to paste it in, save and continue. Editorial review. So actually, I didn't do this particular step yet. This is something I'm probably going to come back to later on. Basically, I'm going to use NetGalley or one of the other similar services to get some reviews. I used to use Kirkus Reviews, but I was really let down by Kirkus about 2 years ago. I think they used an AI to generate my review, and it was really, really bad. So I'm not going to use that, but I'm just going to hit save and continue here. I don't have any editorial reviews. So then it's basically saying, are you sure about all this stuff? And yeah, so the default sample is 5% of the book. That's fine. Covers there, book details, my name. Yep, everything's all set. So we're looking good. I'm gonna let's make sure the date is correct. Yeah, February 18th, 2025. That's correct. So I'm just going to put on sale. So it's actually going to be available for pre-order or showing something like not available yet. And I think that's it. If this video helped, please take a moment to like it and follow me. If you go to leemedia.org, there's a link in the bio. It'll basically show you all my other blog posts and access to some videos. And I do a lot of videos and blog posts about publishing, mostly on Amazon, but some other places too. Anyways, I hope that helped. Thank you so much for watching.